Social services removed me from my home at 4 years old. Two men and a woman knocked on our door during the day when I was alone with my mother. I could overhear arguing at the door. When I approached my mother, one man forced his way past her and picked me up, handing me to another woman. My mother cried and shouted for me to come back. The whole thing was too much to process, and from there, I was moved to another placement. I was left in other people's houses when my foster carer was at work. During my stay, I didn't feel connected to anyone. The house was busy with other children, and I did not know how to handle that, and this overwhelmed me. I felt abandoned, and there was no time to recover from what happened. The abuse I experienced in my placement often consisted of me being left in my room to eat and entertain myself for the majority of my stay. I was occasionally beaten with a belt and verbally bullied by other kids who were related to the carer who looked after me. At 7 years old, I was moved out of the city and into a new family in another town, hours away. My older foster sibling would verbally insult me in front of their own parents, and they'd let it happen. In high school, a boy my age came to stay with us for a short time. He would strangle and alienate me from my local friends. I ended up spending most of my time in my room. He did leave, but the damage was already done. What prevented me from speaking out was often being told no one would believe the abuse that's happened to me over the years. I was gaslit to believing my situation was a good one, and I had nothing bad to say. I would write down the abusive events that happened to me in a diary, which had disappeared over the time. Supported housing was overall unhelpful. I was able to live away from my foster parents and had more choice in my day-to-day living. The accommodation was not hygienic. The bathroom was dirty and falling apart. The crime rate in the area was fairly high during my stay, and at one point the car park was taped off due to a stabbing, which I had to cross through to be able to get out of my residency. I was expected to be vulnerable with people I barely knew and who were not vulnerable with me. I was pressured to give up reasons to my behaviors, such as laziness and lack of enthusiasm. But when people who haven't proven anything to you ask you for so much, other foster children did not tell me about their experiences. I think we all wanted to connect with one another on a mutual level and push aside the traumatic experiences that we had gone through. The fears I have about children in care is loneliness, exploited for their vulnerabilities, capacity to learn after abuse, education levels, and healthy relationships.